The message arrived on a quiet Tuesday afternoon, landing in every major space agency and government office on Earth simultaneously. It wasn't just any message. It was a summons from the Galactic Concord, the oldest and most powerful alliance of alien civilizations in known space. The screen blinked with the elegant, swirling symbols of the Concord's emblem, a star encircled by many hands reaching out. Earth had been a curiosity for decades, a noisy, unpredictable planet filled with life forms that had just broken free from their own cradle. Now the Concorde was offering Earth a seat among the stars, or so it seemed. But the message carried an edge beneath its formal politeness. It warned of Earth's unrefined tendencies, cautioning that joining the Concorde would require Earth to temper its volatile impulses and embrace unity over chaos. Many saw this as a veiled threat. The United Nations gathered in emergency session. The world's leaders debated feverishly. Most preferred the traditional approach. Send a delegation of diplomats, scientists, and goodwill ambassadors to represent Earth's best face. After all, humans wanted peace. They wanted friendship. They wanted to prove that despite their flaws, Earth was ready for the greater galactic community. But not everyone agreed. Behind closed doors, a coalition of Earth's military and space agencies pushed for something different, something stronger. They argued that the Galactic Concord didn't respect weakness. It was an empire built on eons of survival, conquest, and balance maintained by power. Colonel Marta Vega, a sharp-minded strategist and one of Earth's top space commanders, made the case to the United Nations Security Council. "Words alone won't protect us," she said. "We can't just say we're peaceful and hope the galaxy believes us. We need to show we're capable, that we won't be pushed around or ignored." Her voice was steady, but the room was thick with tension. Would the world trust a military response? Was Earth ready to speak with force instead of words? Meanwhile, Captain Alina Rourke prepared quietly in orbit. The Vigilant Resolve, Earth's first interstellar battleship, orbited silently around the planet. Unlike anything the galaxy had seen before, the ship was both a fortress and a beacon, a symbol of humanity's resolve and readiness. Alina had risen through Earth's ranks faster than anyone expected, known for her calm under pressure and a fierce sense of justice. She had spent years training her crew, a mix of engineers, scientists, and soldiers who believed in one thing: Earth would no longer be ignored. Below, Earth's population was divided. News outlets debated endlessly. Some feared war. Others felt pride. Social media exploded with memes and speculation. Why send a battleship when words could do? One commentator asked. Another replied, maybe it's time to stop begging for respect and start earning it. Diplomats and military advisors argued about protocol, ethics, and the future of humanity's place in the stars. But the final decision had already been made in the quiet halls of power. The message Earth sent back to the Galactic Concord was not a letter filled with apologies or promises. It was Vigilant Resolve, a massive, gleaming warship equipped to defend, explore, and, if necessary, fight. The ship's message was simple and clear. We come in peace, but we are not helpless. As Vigilant Resolve slipped away from Earth's orbit, cutting through the void toward the unknown, the galaxy watched. Some with curiosity, some with fear, and some with the unspoken question: who were these humans that they would send a battleship instead of diplomats? And what did that say about the future of the galaxy? The answer, Captain Rourke knew, would come soon enough. The launch of Vigilant Resolve was unlike any event Earth had ever witnessed. Across the globe, people watched live as the colossal battleship, a towering fortress of steel and light, detached from the orbital shipyard. Its sleek hull shimmered under the sun, a promise of strength and hope. For years, Earth's scientists and engineers had worked in secret, building a vessel capable of not only defending the planet, but also projecting Earth's presence into the stars. Vigilant Resolve wasn't just a weapon, it was a statement. Captain Alina Rourke stood on the bridge, her eyes scanning the endless black beyond. Her crew moved efficiently around her, the hum of machinery and steady voices creating a calm, confident rhythm. Every person aboard knew the weight of what they represented, the entire human race. "Engage main thrusters," Alina ordered. The ship responded smoothly, leaving Earth's orbit and slipping into the deep silence of space. The crew was a carefully chosen mix: military veterans, scientists, engineers, diplomats, and even cultural liaisons. Alina valued balance, strength tempered by wisdom, power softened by understanding. Earth's leaders had made the decision to send no diplomats on their own. The vigilant resolve was Earth's voice, Earth's shield, and Earth's invitation. The message was clear. Humanity was ready to join the Galactic Concord, but on its own terms. Across the galaxy, news of Earth's bold reply spread quickly. Many alien races reacted with shock. Most had expected a delegation, fragile and tentative, perhaps fumbling over formalities and alien customs. Instead, they were confronted with a battleship, huge, imposing, and fully armed. Some interpreted it as a threat. Others saw it as a sign of respect, that Earth understood the serious nature of galactic politics. The Concord's council was divided, and whispers of debate echoed through the halls of power. Back on Earth, the response was just as mixed. Some praised the decision as brave and necessary. Others feared it would provoke conflict, that Earth had jumped into the galactic stage too quickly and recklessly. Alina understood the risks. She knew the galaxy could be unforgiving to those who misread its customs, but she also believed in humanity's resilience. "We are not here to conquer," she told her crew during a briefing. "We are here to prove that Earth is a partner, not a threat. We will meet the galaxy's challenges with strength and respect." As vigilant resolve moved closer to the meeting points set by the Concord, the crew prepared for first contact. Communication officers fine-tuned translators, scientists reviewed alien cultures, and security teams ran drills. The journey was tense but purposeful. Every star they passed, every system scanned, was a step toward a new future. Then, the date arrived. The battleship entered the designated neutral zone, a vast expanse of space far from any homeworld. Waiting for them was the Concord's escort fleet, sleek, unfamiliar ships painted in shimmering colors, their shapes unlike anything Earth had seen. Captain Rourke stood firm on the bridge as the alien ships approached. The silence of space was broken by the alien flagship's hail, a voice rich with authority. "Earth, we welcome your arrival. Your vessel is unexpected." Rourke's reply was clear and steady, vigilant resolve. "Earth is ready to engage. We come with respect and strength." The alien captain paused, then answered, "Prepare for diplomatic engagement. We will see if Earth's boldness matches its words." As the ships aligned in the vast emptiness, the stage was set. The galaxy was watching, waiting to see if Earth's gamble would pay off, or if it would spark a war no one wanted. Alina felt a steady surge of determination. This was the moment humanity stepped out of the shadows. Whatever happened next, Earth would never be the same. The vigilant resolve floated in the neutral zone, its massive hull gleaming cold and unyielding beneath the distant stars. The alien escort fleet circled it, ships of all shapes and sizes, their unfamiliar designs pulsing with lights and strange energy signatures. Inside the ship, Captain Alina Rourke studied the holographic displays. Her crew was tense but focused. The moment had arrived, the first official meeting between Earth and the Galactic Concord. A channel opened, and an alien face appeared. It was humanoid but unmistakably not human. Taller, thinner, with shimmering blue skin, and large, dark eyes that seemed to look right through her. This was Ambassador Thalrin, representative of the Concord's High Council. "Captain Rourke," the alien said, voice calm but unreadable. "Your arrival is unexpected. Your vessel exceeds all intelligence reports." Alina met the gaze steadily. "We chose to speak with strength," she replied. "Earth is here to join the Concord, not as supplicants, but as equals." The ambassador's eyes narrowed slightly. Your methods are unusual. Most civilizations send envoys, negotiators. You send a battleship. It suggests either confidence or defiance. Perhaps both, Alina answered. But we offer peace. Our weapons are not for war, but for protection and deterrence. Behind the scenes, the Concord's members debated fiercely. Some whispered that Earth's show of force was reckless, a dangerous gamble that could provoke hostility. Others saw it as a breath of fresh air, an honest, straightforward approach in a galaxy often tangled in bureaucracy and subterfuge. As the talks began aboard a nearby neutral station, Alina and her carefully selected team stepped into the alien chambers. The room was vast, lit by shifting colors that seemed to respond to their movements. The High Council was a collection of beings unlike any Earth had imagined. Insectoid diplomats with multifaceted eyes, crystalline entities that communicated through vibrations, and towering figures whose forms shimmered like living shadows. The council's leader, a stately creature named Cirrusfal, spoke first. Earth, your arrival disrupts expectations. We seek to understand your intent. Why present such power instead of words alone? Alina's voice was steady. Our history is one of survival. Our strength is hard-earned. Words without power are fragile. We choose to be heard not because we seek conflict, but because we will not be ignored. The room was silent for a moment. Then Cirrusfal responded, Your honesty is unusual. It challenges centuries of tradition. Yet it demands respect. During the talks, Alina noticed the subtle shifts. A few council members exchanged glances. Others leaned forward with new interest. Earth's blunt approach had unsettled some, intrigued others. Outside the chambers, the Vigilant Resolve performed routine scans and maintenance, its crew preparing for any possibility. Alina knew that trust was fragile. One misstep could mean war. After hours of dialogue, the council adjourned without a decision, agreeing only to continue discussions. As Alina returned to her ship, she felt the weight of what had been set in motion. News of the meeting spread rapidly through the Concorde and back to Earth. Reactions were mixed: skepticism, hope, fear. But one thing was clear: Earth was no longer a quiet observer. It had arrived as a force to be reckoned with. And the galaxy was paying attention. While the Galactic Concorde debated behind closed doors, Vigilant Resolve quietly made its presence felt in ways no one had expected. Captain Alina Rourke understood better than most that strength alone wouldn't win friends. It was how you wielded it that mattered. Shortly after the first meeting, a distress signal crackled through the ship's communications. A small cargo vessel from a lesser-known species had been caught in a violent solar storm near a fragile cluster of uninhabited moons. The ship's crew was stranded, their life support failing. Some in the Concorde had expected Earth's battleship to ignore such calls or demand a price for assistance. Instead, Alina ordered an immediate rescue operation. Within minutes, Vigilant Resolve altered course and headed straight into the storm's edge. The alien cargo ship was battered but still intact. Alina's engineers worked quickly, using Earth technology to stabilize the vessel's systems and guide it safely away from danger. The grateful crew of the cargo ship sent their thanks, and word spread fast throughout the galaxy. Many were surprised that a massive warship, armed to the teeth, had saved lives without hesitation or condition. Next, Vigilant Resolve docked at a dilapidated station orbiting a forgotten mining planet. The station was struggling to maintain power and structural integrity after years of neglect. Again, the crew sprang into action, repairing vital systems and offering supplies. Alien workers and engineers watched in awe as Earth's crew worked tirelessly. This wasn't the image of a ruthless conqueror. It was a team willing to invest in cooperation and goodwill. Back in the Concorde Council chambers, the debates shifted tone. Some members began to question their assumptions about Earth. If this was the face of humanity, capable of immense strength but choosing mercy, what did that mean for the galaxy's future? Yet, not everyone was convinced. The Keth Dominion, a secretive and influential faction within the Concorde, viewed Earth's rise as a direct threat. They had ruled large swaths of space through fear and manipulation for centuries. The idea of a new power, unbound by their rules and showing unexpected kindness, unsettled them deeply. Despite their concerns, Earth's actions softened many attitudes. Smaller species that had long suffered under the Dominion's thumb found hope in Earth's example. Captain Rourke was aware that goodwill alone wouldn't guarantee safety, but she also knew it could tip the scales. Strength without compassion is tyranny, she told her crew. Our power must protect, not dominate. As Vigilant Resolve continued its journey through the neutral zone, it became clear that Earth was rewriting the rules of engagement. Across the stars, stories of Earth's unexpected kindness and fierce defense spread rapidly. The battleship became a symbol not just of military might, but of a new kind of power, one that combined courage with empathy. While the Concord Council postponed a final decision on Earth's membership, the galaxy was already changing. Alliances shifted, old grudges softened, and whispers of a new era began to circulate. The question on everyone's mind was no longer just whether Earth would join the Concord, but what kind of force humanity would become in the vastness of space. For Captain Rourke and her crew, the mission was clear: show the galaxy that Earth's strength was real, and that its heart was just as powerful. The calm that followed Earth's acts of mercy was fragile. Beneath the surface, darker currents swirled. The Keth Dominion, unsettled by Earth's rise and growing influence, decided it was time to act. They would test humanity's resolve, and if possible, crush it before it could become a threat. Captain Alina Rourke was not naive. She had long suspected that the Dominion would try to provoke a conflict. The Vigilant Resolve was constantly on alert, but even the best defenses couldn't guard against every trick. The trap was laid in a remote sector of the neutral zone, a labyrinth of asteroid fields and dense nebulae. The Keth Dominion sent a distress beacon, claiming that one of their patrol ships had been disabled and was stranded, vulnerable to attack. Alina's crew debated the risk. Some urged caution, suspecting a ruse. Others believed they couldn't ignore a call for help without damaging Earth's growing reputation for goodwill. Alina's decision was clear. "We are who we say we are," she said firmly. "We answer calls for aid, no matter the danger, but we do so prepared." The Vigilant Resolve moved cautiously into the asteroid field, scanning for hidden threats. The atmosphere on board tightened like a drawn bowstring. As they approached the beacon's coordinates, sensors detected a sudden surge of enemy ships emerging from the shadows. Sleek, deadly vessels painted in the dark colors of the Keth Dominion. The trap had sprung. The ambush was swift and brutal. Plasma beams streaked across space, hitting the battleship's shields. Alarms blared. Alina barked orders with calm precision, directing her crew through emergency protocols. But the Vigilant Resolve was not just a symbol. It was a fortress. Its advanced defense systems activated, countermeasures launched, and weapons charged. The ship moved like a predator, fast, strong, and unyielding. The battle raged for hours, light and shadow flashing across the void. Yet Alina's crew fought with discipline and unity, never losing focus. But what shocked the attackers most was Earth's choice during the conflict. Despite having the power to destroy the Keth fleet completely, Alina held back. "We are not here to annihilate," she told her officers. "We fight to protect and to send a message. Mercy is our greatest weapon." Slowly, the tide turned. The Dominion ships, battered and confused, began to retreat. The Vigilant Resolve pursued only far enough to ensure they would not return soon. When the battle finally ended, not a single enemy ship was destroyed beyond repair, and no lives were needlessly lost. The galaxy was watching, and the message was clear. Earth's strength was real, but so was its restraint. The Keth Dominion's plot had failed spectacularly, and in doing so, Earth had earned grudging respect from many corners of the Concord. Alina knew the fight was far from over. Enemies remained, watching and waiting. But for now, Earth had proven it was no fragile newcomer. It was a force that commanded attention, and demanded to be heard. As the Vigilant Resolve limped away from the ambush site, the crew felt a mixture of relief and pride. They had survived the test, not by brute force alone, but by the strength of their will and values. The trap had been sprung, and Earth had not fallen. Instead, it had stood taller than ever. The aftermath of the battle echoed across the galactic concord like a thunderclap. Transmissions flooded the networks. Videos, reports, and eyewitness accounts of the Vigilant Resolve's calm defense and refusal to annihilate its attackers spread rapidly. Earth's restraint wasn't weakness. It was a new kind of strength. Many smaller species, long oppressed by the ruthless Keth Dominion, found hope in Earth's actions. For decades, they had lived in fear and submission, believing resistance was futile. Now, the tales of Earth's battleship standing firm without cruelty stirred a spark of rebellion. In the Concord Council chambers, heated debates roared. Some factions applauded Earth's courage and moral clarity. Others, especially those aligned with the Dominion, saw the human example as dangerous, too unpredictable, too honest, and above all, too strong. This planet, one ancient counselor said with a voice like grinding stone, has upset the delicate balance we've maintained for centuries. Will they be allies or usurpers? In the midst of this turmoil, many races reached out to Earth with cautious curiosity. Informal communications and trade offers began flowing in, small at first, but steadily growing. For the first time, Earth was no longer a distant anomaly. It was a player to be reckoned with. Back aboard the Vigilant Resolve, Captain Alina Rourke and her crew felt the shift in atmosphere. Alliances were realigning, old grudges softening just enough to make new partnerships possible. Alina convened a meeting with her senior officers. "We are no longer just survivors," she said. "We are influencers. We have the chance to reshape the galaxy, not by domination, but by example." The crew, many of whom had never imagined Earth would command such attention, felt a mix of pride and responsibility. Their mission had become more than just survival. It was about hope. Yet, danger lingered. The Keth Dominion had not vanished. It lurked in shadows, seeking ways to undermine Earth's rise. Its spies worked quietly, spreading rumors and attempting sabotage. Alina was vigilant. She knew trust was fragile in the galaxy, and one wrong move could plunge everything back into chaos. Meanwhile, Earth's broadcasts showed images of the Vigilant Resolve assisting distant colonies, delivering supplies, and repairing infrastructure damaged by conflict or neglect. The battleship became a symbol of peace and protection. On planets once under the Dominion's harsh rule, underground resistance groups quietly cheered Earth's name. The human example inspired secret gatherings and whispered plans for freedom. In the grand halls of the Concord, the question was no longer whether to accept Earth, but how to adapt to this new power rising from a small blue planet. For the first time, Earth held a place not just by invitation, but by earned respect. And the galaxy was watching closely, waiting to see what humanity would do next. As Earth's presence in the galactic concord grew stronger, so did the challenges. The Keth Dominion's attempts to destabilize Earth's influence became more frequent and cunning. Sabotage, misinformation, and covert attacks tested Captain Alina Rourke and her crew at every turn. But in the vastness of space, allies could come from the most surprising places. One such ally emerged from the shadows, a race known as the Varkath. They were a mysterious species, long considered isolationists, with a reputation for fierce warriors and unmatched technology. Few had ever seen a Varkath ship up close, and fewer still had earned their trust. When the Varkath sent a message to Vigilant Resolve, offering assistance against the Keth Dominion, many aboard the battleship were skeptical, but Alina knew better than to dismiss potential allies outright. The Varkath ambassador, a towering figure cloaked in shifting armor, arrived aboard Vigilant Resolve under strict protocols. Their first meeting was cautious, each side measuring the other. "Your restraint and resolve have not gone unnoticed," the ambassador said, voice deep and resonant. "We have watched the Dominion's cruelty for centuries. We stand ready to aid those who oppose their tyranny. Alina considered the offer carefully. Aligning with the Varkath meant risking old prejudices and unknown dangers, but it also meant gaining a powerful partner. Strength with honor, Alina replied. That is what Earth stands for. If we are to face the Dominion, we must do so united. The alliance formed quickly but deliberately. The Varkath shared intelligence, advanced weapon designs, and tactical training that transformed vigilant resolve into an even more formidable force. More importantly, the alliance sent a clear message across the galaxy. Earth was not alone. With the Varkath's backing, Earth's diplomatic missions became bolder. Previously neutral or hesitant species began to offer support, inspired by the union of two unlikely powers. The Keth Dominion found itself increasingly isolated. Their propaganda failed to tarnish Earth's growing reputation, and their attacks met fierce resistance. The turning point came during a joint operation in a contested sector where Dominion forces threatened to enslave a small, peaceful civilization. Vigilant resolve and Varkath warships moved swiftly to defend the planet, driving back the Dominion with precision and care. The rescue operation was broadcast throughout the Concord, rallying more systems to Earth's cause. The story of two ancient enemies, humans and Varkath, joining forces to protect the vulnerable, captured the imagination of many. Inside the battleship, the crew felt a renewed sense of purpose. They were no longer just defenders of Earth, but champions of a new galactic order, one where strength, mercy, and unity mattered. Yet, Alina remained vigilant. The Dominion was wounded but not defeated. Their desperation could make them more dangerous than ever. As the alliance strengthened, so did the stakes. Earth's place in the galaxy was no longer a question of survival. It was a fight for the future of countless worlds. And Captain Alina Rourke was ready to lead that fight. The final battle was not just about Earth. It was about the future of the entire galactic concord. The Keth Dominion, cornered and desperate, launched a massive offensive aimed at crushing the vigilant resolve and breaking the fragile alliances forming around it. Captain Alina Rourke stood on the bridge, her gaze steady as the alarms echoed. The battleship's hull trembled under the onslaught of enemy fire, but the crew remained calm, trained, and united. All units, prepare for full defense and counterattack, Alina ordered. Remember why we fight. For peace, for hope, for every world that believes in a better future. The Varkath fleet arrived just as the Dominion's forces closed in, their warships slicing through enemy lines with fierce precision. The combined strength of Earth and Varkath was unmatched, turning the tide of battle. But it was not brute force alone that won the day. Alina deployed innovative strategies, using the Vigilant Resolve's advanced systems to disable enemy ships non-lethally, sparing lives even in the heat of war. The Dominion's flagship, a massive dreadnought, charged at Earth's battleship. The two titans clashed in a dazzling display of technology and willpower. Alina's crew worked flawlessly, anticipating every move and countering with skill. Finally, with a calculated strike, the Dominion dreadnought's engines failed, and it drifted powerless, forced to surrender. The battle's end marked more than a victory in space. It was a turning point for the Galactic Concord. In the aftermath, the Concord Council convened with a new perspective. Earth's strength, tempered with compassion and determination, had reshaped the galaxy's understanding of power. Earth was formally welcomed as a full member of the Galactic Concord, not just as a newcomer, but as a respected force for change. Captain Rourke looked out at the stars from the bridge, the weight of the journey settling in her chest. Humanity's gamble, sending a battleship instead of diplomats, had paid off in ways no one had imagined. The galaxy was no longer a place to fear, but a vast community to join and help shape, and Earth had earned its place among the stars.